Welcome to our first ever Clay podcast. Woo-hoo! I'm your host. My name is Chrysant, and this is a new initiative for Clay. We're hoping to get some guests. We're gonna talk about, life. We're gonna get some testimonies, and hopefully you, the audience, and the rest of the church members will have the opportunity to get to know each other better through this way. So this is my first time hosting, so please bear with me if I'm a little bit awkward, but that's okay. I feel like our community is a little bit awkward. Anyways, so today, a major theme that we've been discussing in our church is growing in faith spiritually, and we've been discussing a lot on how we can do that, what it means to grow. And a big part of that is trusting in God and the difficulties of trusting God. So join with me on our very first podcast. I'd like to welcome Manuel.
What's up? Yay! What's up? Hello. Hi, my name is Manuel. I'm one of the members of this church and also one of the Clay leaders. And it's a privilege to be here with Chrysant as we talk about trusting in God. So I'm excited.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Manuel, for being here with us today. It feels so weird because this is the first time like me and you are kind of like doing it like this. But I've known Manuel for a while. I feel like
so long.
How far back?
I came when I was in 2006.
2006.
Yeah, so since 2006, it's almost 20 years.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Have your parents been in this church for like since the beginning, since they moved to Canada?
Yeah, my dad started off in this church like in 2006. So,
Nice.
So kind of crazy. We go way back.
Know.
So
yeah, I remember. I used to be Manuel's camp counselor, so I literally remembered him when he was a gremlin back in the day. I wish, I wish I brought like photos of us like in those days, because we have a ton.
Oh my God, it's all upstairs, by the way.
Yeah, I'm sure we can like pick that up and like show everyone.
You have to expose yourself too, though, not just me.
It's true. It's okay. I'm fine.
True.
So Manuel, how long has it been since you've been a follower of Christ? Like, would you say that you've been a follower of Christ all your life?
I would say that I was born into Christianity. Like I've ever since I could remember, even as like a young toddler, I was in Sunday school and stuff like that. But I think I really start counting it from when I first encountered Christ, which was middle school. So that was when I was like 14, 15, 2015, 16, basically. I went to one of the snow camps at Life Spring Church, and that's where I encountered Christ. It was like at a retreat. So
nice. So, a snow camp?
Yeah. So it's been, I think, 10 years being a follower of Christ after encountering Jesus, but a lifetime of being a Christian. Yeah. Yeah.
That was like the moment where you chose for yourself that you wanted to believe in Christ.
Yeah. Like where I felt like he was actually real. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and we all know that your dad is basically the pastor of this church.
The top G.
Top G.
Yeah.
Well, we love Pastor Danny. Your dad's amazing.
Yes.
He wasn't always a pastor though, right?
No, he graduated from my program, which was in graphic design.
True.
So he was definitely going to do something creative.
Yeah.
And then God called him to be a pastor. So yeah.
What was that like? Like when did he decide to be a pastor again?
So he became the pastor of the church. Oh my gosh, which year is it? It was after COVID.
After COVID?
Was it before or after?
Oh
my God,
true.
I'm so sorry.
No, because there was like two arcs, right? Like he wasn't first initially called to like ministry, but then like he started volunteering in the church. That was like his first arc, I guess.
Yeah.
Being part of the church.
In children ministry.
Yeah.
That was his first in the church, yes. And he dealt with all the children. And then eventually he was moved to lead Clay, which is like, the English service for ICC.
Yeah.
And then post-COVID, I hope it's post-COVID. Oh my gosh, I hope the facts are right.
I think that is correct.
Yeah.
Probably.
Was it before? Okay. Well, around COVID, oh my gosh, he became the pastor of Clay.
Nice. Yeah. How did it feel growing up? Like, did you feel like it was easier or like harder knowing that like your dad was so involved in ministry?
Honestly, like I want to give credit to my dad because I feel like a lot of the PK experiences that people like to talk about, and it tends to lead towards like trauma and like, I don't know, like hardships. Like my dad was very considerate of me, and he was very aware of what his position might do to his kids, basically, or what are the experiences that they may have behind the scenes. So even though, like, let's say, I don't know, everyone was an angst teen, right? But
Yeah.
throughout my teenage years, maybe I couldn't really understand like what was going on, or I didn't even have a deep faith in Christianity myself. So there was kind of a disconnect. But growing older, like I realized that, yeah, my dad really cared for me, and he really made sure to check in with me and to make sure that I don't feel pressured. So that was constantly communicated by him. So I never felt a big burden. Yeah, maybe there's like pressure here and there because, you know, when you walk into a community and people know that you're the kid, like maybe there are thoughts that go in your head about how people see you. But
Yeah.
I think my dad did a good job in making sure I felt secure and that my image isn't through him, but it's through God.
Nice. Yeah.
Big shout out to the top G,
To
my
the
dad.
top G.
Yeah.
Yo, Manuel's a menace. Like, I know that for sure.
Yo, don't. Oh my God, this episode 1, people already think I'm a menace. Okay. Anyways.
I mean, I've known Manuel for all his life, but I think
Yeah.
like it was just recently that I've discovered how much of a menace you were.
Yeah. We got a little closer, and then I showed my true colors. So,
Yeah. No,
yeah.
but that's awesome. I love that. I love that about you. And I love your relationship with your family. I think even when I look at like Malika and you, I could see, I mean, first of all, like how, like the grace of God working in your family, but also like how amazing your parents were and how amazing you guys are for being so mature and understanding of their situation too.
It's a
So,
blessing for sure. I
yeah.
thank God all the time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah. No, I'm constantly admiring you guys, I think, for what you've been through.
Yes.
I want to ask, like, was trusting God always easy for you?
Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, on the topic of trusting God, like I think even now I still struggle with trusting God. I'm gonna be like so real with you.
Yeah.
There were phases where it was easier. There were phases where it's harder. And if I'm honestly, like, if I'm really honest with how I am right now, like, I feel like right now is a season where it is a little harder to trust him because of certain circumstances.
I see.
But I think because of what we're constantly implementing here at Clay and constantly teaching and marinating, that, you know, like trusting God due to who he is and not for what he does for you or what your life circumstances are. I learned so much through those messages, like through cell group or through the messages here at the sermons. Like, I know in the back of my head that, like, you know, I do need to trust God, but it is sometimes hard. That's
Yeah,
all. Yeah.
of course. Yeah. I really like what you said just now about not letting your circumstances dictate like whether or not God like is worth trusting.
Yeah.
How did you learn to develop that kind of mindset? Like what helped you think like that? Because that's a really mature thing to say.
I think it honestly goes back to reverence. Kind of understanding like how great God is and like how much we don't understand how he thinks, and like compared to him we're literally like so insignificant, so like so small.
Yeah.
So sometimes when I try to measure my trust with God based on my own understanding, I kind of like it contradicts. Like I kind of check myself. I'm like, okay, like how am I able to even think this way?
Yeah.
Like, he probably knows like so much more. Like I can't even begin to comprehend what he has planned for me. So I think knowing that always in the back of my head, like no matter I guess where life goes, like I can always fall back on that and be like, yeah, I can't understand God, but I know that he's at least always there for me, and he knows what's best for me and he has a plan for me. So
Right. Yeah.
and that's something that I learned here at Clay for sure. Yeah.
Was there anything that like made you well, first of all, like that's amazing. Understanding like humility like that. I feel like humility is one of the things that I struggle with the most. Like pride is definitely something that I struggle with, and I've had to go through a lot of like humbling experiences to actually like understand how small I am in comparison to God.
Yeah.
Was there like a situation in your life where like you were like humbled, like you were like, okay, now I understand, like I get it?
Oh man, Honestly, I'm trying to think. And excuse me if I take a while to think.
No, it's okay.
I gotta really think about this.
Yeah. Like for me,
Mhm.
like I obviously like everyone has like a tough relationship with their parents, right?
Yeah.
And for me, like I grew up kind of being a little bit distant from my dad just
Mhm.
because of circumstances. Like we came from Indonesia
Mm.
when I was really young,
Mm.
and my parents came here and seeking for a better life.
Mhm. Mhm.
And
Mhm.
so like things were tough, like financially.
Yep.
And so there's like a lot of stress at the household growing up. And
Mm.
unfortunately, because of that, like I didn't really have the best relationship with my parents growing up.
Mm.
I think at the time, like I thought that I could do better, and like I
Oh.
questioned like why they were the way they were
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
a
Yeah. Yeah.
lot,
Yeah. Yeah.
and like I basically put pride in my own self,
Uh huh.
but like there was no like validation, like valid reason of
Mhm.
why I thought that way. It's just because I didn't understand them and
Yeah.
how hard it was, and this is their first life too type of thing,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? It's their
Oh
first
my
life too.
gosh. You're right.
And so, but I think like I learned like humility through them, and then that helped kind of with my humility with God, my relationship with God, with them constantly
Mm.
proving to me that like, oh, like the reason why I did those things was because in the end it would turn out better than what I could ever
Mm.
thought of.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. That's not only a humbling experience, but that must have spanned so many years of like constant
Yeah,
ups and downs for you to even get to that
definitely.
point of thinking. That is crazy. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, wow. Honestly, like as soon as you brought up your parents, I kind of relate with you. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
where I got humbled too. Um, and as much as I think you gained a lot of humility through like a lot of hardship from your parents, I think from my perspective, like I know that my dad went through a lot of hardship.
Mm,
Um, and he never really deserved any of the trauma and the hardship that he went through.
right.
Like even today, there's a lot of hardship on him. And I think God humbled me when I started to realize that my dad was an adult, like living for the first time too.
Mm,
Um, it was like sometimes, and I'm so blessed to have this. Sometimes I'd have talks with my dad, and we'd be real with each other. We'd like talk about life and stuff. Those are moments where I saw him as like
a
a
human.
human, like a friend,
Yeah.
like as if I was talking to another adult, and I got to see like the perspectives of his life and like how he was raised and how he brought up. And God humbled me because my dad through it all stayed obedient
Mm-hmm.
and faithful. And there were times where I'm like wow, like I have it so much better than him. He has given me so much, even though my dad has gone through so many hardships,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm doubtful or I'm prideful. And it's
Mm.
like I share the house with this guy. Like I can't be feeling like that. And he inspires me to like, always stay faithful and to be obedient because look where that's gotten him and look at the seeds that he planted and the forest that grew from those seeds
Mm.
that we can all see today. Like if we look around, it's like this whole thing. So
Yeah.
I think my parents were
Like a really good example of
mm-hmm,
learning
mm-hmm.
humility.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also my mom. Like I don't want to
Of
always
course.
just talk about
Yeah.
my dad, but my mom, like, oh
No,
my
we
gosh.
love Tantita too.
Yeah, my mom has been
Woohoo.
such a solid rock for me and even my dad too.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy how like when you think about it, like the trust that like your mom had to have in your dad.
I still can't believe it to this day. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah, having to move countries because he had a calling,
Yeah.
and like my mom's whole life was in Indo, so it was like moving to a completely different country for the sake of your husband and his calling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like if it wasn't for my mom allowing or not allowing but obeying God as well, like none of this would have happened as well. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess like through that story, like we can see how like trusting in God affects our relationships too. Like, do
Yeah.
you feel like your trust in God affects your personal relationships with people?
Mm, that's a good question. Um, I think it does. I think, well, like how, like I said before, like the trust goes through phases.
Mm.
Like sometimes it is easy to trust God, and sometimes it isn't. But with God, it's like you always know He's right, and
Yeah.
you always know He's like good, right? But then when it comes to people, you don't necessarily know if their intentions are always pure. You don't know if people are, what's it called? Like actually have your best interest. And so sometimes it's hard to trust people because they're not all good, all knowing, all powerful. But
right. Omniscient, omnipotent. Yeah.
exactly. But then I'm just reminded as to like how God sees us too. He sees us the same. And God is able to humble himself to be able to have conversations with us where, you know, sometimes it seems like we know it all and he has to like check us. So I think practicing trusting in God, who is so forgiving and knowing and all good, makes it easier to be able to transition into trusting people.
Other people.
Yeah. Because like if you're having trouble trusting with people, it makes sense, but it doesn't really make sense to not trust God. So,
Right. Because he's always proven himself time and time again.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So I think trusting God, like, yeah, like you get down to trusting God, you practice it, and it allows you to trust people with a loving heart. That's my perspective. Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
No, that's awesome. Yeah. And I feel like that provides some insight, especially like if you've been through like certain traumas and stuff, and how like you can depend on, like you can't depend on people, but you can always depend on God.
Yes.
So he'll carry you. He'll kind of, he's the God of justice. So whatever injustices that's been done to you by others, he can kind of make it right.
Yes.
Anyways,
Always.
you can have faith in that. That's
Amen.
awesome. Do you have anything like, do you have any tips or, I don't know, practices that you do in your personal life that help encourage you to continue to trust God as you journey through faith? Like how do you maintain your trust in him like on a daily basis?
Honestly, I don't know if this is like correct or if this is where a lot of my trust. Yeah, I'm just gonna be open,
okay.
Right?
Yeah, I mean we're not here like we're not experts. I think we're just sharing about like life.
Not experts. Okay. But for me, how I'm able to trust in God is by surrounding myself in a community where I see God work through others. And I feel like in those seasons where it's hard for me to trust God or I don't see him working in my life, I see him working through your life. Or I'm in cell groups where I see him working through Vic's life.
Right.
Or like Brian's life. Brian shares a testimony. I'm like, wow, like God really pulled through for you. God is working. It not only humbles me, like I'm not the only person with problems or anything, right? But it also shows that God is working. He's not dead. He's alive. And it's proof to me that even though, let's say, nothing is happening in my life right now, like if he loves Brian enough to do something with his life, like it's not like he doesn't love me. Like he loves me just as much. So why would he neglect me? And I am able to trust him because of that. Yeah. Just that knowledge of people.
That's amazing. Yeah. I feel like being in a community is so important for that reason. I'm again, like I'm constantly inspired by you. And yeah, like my brother, even like cell group, the other day, like 2 days ago, just hearing their testimonies and, seeing how, like, I love how you put it, like you can see Jesus through like the people around you. And like when you are planted in that community, you really open yourself up to those experiences.
Yes.
It's amazing. So guys, you must join the cell group. Okay.
Cell group is good.
Cell group is the best.
Is sponsored by Cell Group.
Sponsored by Cell Group.
This podcast is sponsored by Cell Group.
This podcast is sponsored by Cell Group.
West Cell.
Anyway. West Cell represent. No, I'm kidding. All cells are good.
Yeah, all cells are equal.
West Cell. That's great. Is there anything like a passage in the verse in the Bible or anything that you fall back to that you would say is your favorite or that has helped you in your growth at all?
In my growth, great question.
Do you have like a favorite like passage or verse or story?
Yeah, I do. Is it kind of bad that I don't have it memorized? Probably, but
it's okay. We're all working towards that.
Yep. Okay, so 1 Corinthians 13, 4 verse 8. And I was I can read it. I was introduced to this verse by David actually a long time ago.
Oh, okay.
I think before he was even planted in this community. I think when he was like in the retreats and we kind of met him for the first time or something. But let me read it out loud. Corinthians 13, verse 14. Okay, here it is. Yep, 1 Corinthians 13, verse 4 to 8. Describes the characteristics of love, starting at its... Oh, wait, this is the definition. Okay.
That's okay.
Here's the verse. Love is patient. Love is kind. It does not envy. It does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, always perseveres. Love never fails. But where there are prophecies, they will cease. Where there are tongues, they will be stilled. Where there is knowledge, it will pass away. I think this verse specifically has helped me in my growth, because it's almost like a blueprint for how I can live a godly life. And it also reflects the character of God and how he sees me and what he preaches to me and how he loves me. So it's almost like, to be a Christian, yes, you follow God, but people should also see God through you. You should also, we're called to follow Christ so that we can lead by example. People can see how we live, not to convert, but so that, oh yeah, there's God working in his life. I can see that God is alive in him.
There's something different about him.
There's something different, yeah. And that's through love, like how we choose to love others. That is the most like simple and obvious way that people can see God working in our lives. So that verse helps me and checks me every day whenever I'm interacting with people or even with myself or with God, how to love and I guess how to reflect his character. Yeah.
I love that verse too.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a reason why like everyone uses it during like marriage ceremonies.
Oh yeah.
It's like
That's
the famous verse. I feel like your dad said that verse in my ceremony too.
Oh yeah.
I think so. Did he? Yeah.
Memory of a goldfish. I can't even.
Yeah, my husband's in the audience.
Shout out to husband.
Let's go. We are live. We're joined today by a live studio audience. Woohoo!
Like
consisting
people.
of 2, or the rest is crew.
Shout out to the crew who set this up. Yes.
Shout out to the crew.
Yeah.
Let's go. I love that. Thank you for sharing all of that, Manuel. And last but not least, can you tell us one thing to the audience that might be surprising about you?
Whoa, one thing to the audience that's surprising about me?
Just so everyone can get to know you. I feel like everyone knows you. Like, you're pretty popular.
Bruh. Cut the cameras. Bloopers start. Oh my god. No, I mean, I'm blessed to know people and to get to know people. So, what's interesting about me is that I'm not as extroverted as people think.
Oh, okay.
I grew up most of my life introverted. And it was only because of university, which is the past, I guess, 3 or 4 years, that I became extroverted. So I guess it ties back to what you said. Like, yeah, I'm blessed to know a lot of people and get to know communities and stuff, but I'm actually like still pretty introverted, and I have my own times where I need to be by myself.
You need to be by yourself to recharge.
Exactly. Yeah. Honestly, anyone who's ever slept over at my house, you know that like I run away to my room sometimes, and it's because like I need my alone time. Like that is my sanctuary.
Wait, but then so do you invite them to your place, but then you retreat back into your room?
I mean, okay, sometimes I do invite them, but sometimes it's like, oh yeah, someone's sleeping over today. I'm like, sick.
Oh, okay. Oh, but you didn't invite them over, right?
Yeah, but I'm always happy to have them over.
Okay.
Yeah. Our house is open for everyone.
No, for sure. Because I mean, like your Pastor Danny is really known for like inviting anyone and everyone.
Yes.
So that makes sense.
Yeah, and I'm the same. Like I love it when like Carl comes over, Gavin, Steven, yo, anyone come over. Not all at once, but like, but yeah, like sometimes I run to my room.
Okay, you're here. I'll see you later.
Like, yo, what's up? Like, I don't know. They're like talking or eating, and I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna go to my room, and I just like sit on my couch or on my chair. I'm just like, oh my god, collect. Maybe like play a game, recharge, and then
Valo.
Yeah.
Stream on Twitch.
Streamer arc is over. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I feel like most people here in Clay are introverted, I would say.
Yeah, we're a pretty introvert community. I think that's why the people who are slightly a little more extroverted like seem like they're super extroverted
Yeah.
compared to everyone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like my brother and like Steven maybe. And Marcelo actually. Marcelo introverted?
Are you introverted? Yes.
Yeah, he's introverted.
Introverted.
But the thing is, I think people like don't understand that there's a difference between introversion and like social anxiety. Because I feel like people that can be extroverted but like are shy, or like shyness is an equal introversion.
They don't really correlate. Like,
no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I guess it like doesn't help. You know, if you're socially anxious but you're extroverted. But yeah, like I know some shy people that are really extroverted, and then they're convinced they're introverted. You know who you are. You're extroverted. Oof. Not you. I'm not pointing at you. But yeah.
I feel like Matt's one of those people.
Matt is. I feel like he's extroverted.
Yeah.
He's definitely extroverted.
Yeah.
Yeah. Talking to you, Matt.
Matt, you better be watching.
Yeah.
Shout out to Matt.
Take some notes, Brad. Also a Clay leader and style group leader. What's up?
What's up? Okay. Thank you so much, Manuel, for joining me here. I really appreciate it.
Yes, I appreciate you as well. It was amazing.
Thank you guys for watching. And you can catch us here on the Clay Instagram. Make sure to comment and follow us for more content. Yeah, hopefully I'll do better next time. Woohoo!
Yes, sir.
And
shout out to Clay Podcast. It was amazing. Thank you, Chrysant, for hosting. Honestly, you're a really good host. I don't know what you're talking about, but yeah. Thank you guys. It was amazing.
I'll see you next time.
We'll see you next time. Woo!